As the sun set on the final year of the millennium, the people of Earth were deprived of a truly incredible story. Between April and September of 1999, a series of remarkable events took place in Great Britain. The ramifications of these events were so profound that under normal circumstances, they would generate headline news throughout the world. You would expect our president and leaders of foreign countries to hold press conferences to discuss the startling new discoveries. The public would feel the excitement and eagerly tune in their TVs for Film at 11. Life for human beings would be forever changed. But that did not happen. Instead, major media outlets ignored the story as if it never occurred. Primetime network news continued to crank out an assembly line of superficial tabloid-type stories. Viewers were offered a symphony of sound bites on hundreds of sensational, yet unimportant stories. They were never informed of the events that may have had a major impact on humanity and mankind's place in the universe. Television viewers were being treated as though their level of global and spiritual awareness was unimportant and a waste of time. Meanwhile, a relatively small group of researchers, activists, truth seekers, the curious and open-minded decided to find out what was happening. Hundreds of people from all over the world flocked to England's green countrysides to get a look for themselves. What they discovered changed their lives. We sent our own crew to England to cover this amazing story. What we discovered might change the way you think about the world in which we live. Something wonderful has happened, but it was not in the news. In England each year, the crop circle season runs parallel to the crop growth and harvesting cycle. Starting as early as April and usually ending at harvest time in August, the formations have a brief and temporary lifespan. They are lost forever when they are cut down for transport to the marketplace. It is interesting to note that the circle maker's art originates in our food chain. The beginning of the crop circle season finds small, simple formations that resemble patterns from a cookie cutter. The tram lines made by the tractor when planting the crops vary from 40 to 60 feet across, depending on the farm and the crops being grown. This will give you an idea as to the scale of the formations that you are viewing. Many of the larger and more complex formations are routinely 200 to 300 feet in diameter. This 300-foot-long formation in oilseed rape is reminiscent of classic crop circle designs discovered almost a decade ago. The markings outside of the edge of the circle are an inherent part of the design, and they are found on many such formations. No one has ever determined what they are. Now let's take a look at it from ground level. This 350-foot eclipse formation in oilseed rape anticipates the total eclipse of the sun that will occur later this season on August 11th. It is one of several eclipse formations that appeared this year. If you look closely, you can see the distortions of the tram line running through the middle of the circles. This was caused by the crop as it lay down to form the design pattern. Crop formations come in all sizes and shapes, and the variety is truly fascinating to see. This delicate Milk Hill pattern in oilseed rape plant is 250 feet in length. The uneven, thin streak to the left is the result of humans walking across the field to see it. Now you will notice a complete change in texture. This is what a 250-foot formation looks like in a field of barley. The design takes on a softer, almost fluffy appearance. Let's see what it looks like on the ground. As the wind blows over the crops, it creates a sea of barley, a virtual ocean on dry land. The magnificent Barbary Castle Menorah Formation, also in barley, is 300 feet across. Its neighbor was first thought to be an insect and was dubbed the Barbary Beetle. Then a historian thought he recognized it as an oil-burning lamp, complete with snuffer, tools used to maintain the spiritual fire. Just imagine the farmer's reaction when he woke up one morning and discovered this truly amazing addition to his field. Here's another eclipse formation. This little 100-footer is an oilseed rape plant. The beautiful symmetry of these 150-foot circles at Penton Grafton appears in barley. It is worth noting that all of the beautiful crop formation designs that you are viewing are not visible at ground level. The circle maker's art can only be seen and appreciated from the air. This spectacular long formation in the famous East Field near Alton Barnes set a record for one of the longest crop circle formations ever discovered. It measures 1,020 feet in barley, and it has a neighbor, a 350-foot serpent. Let's go in for a closer look. Farmer Polly Carson points out some of the unique features of this extraordinary formation. Mature cereal plants like these contain brittle plant stalks at their base. They will usually snap off like celery when they are bent or trampled. However, inside these crop formations, stalks bend over at right angles without breaking as they lay down to form their artistic designs. Surprisingly, these plants are still living, remaining healthy and vibrant until the harvest. Finding these so-called magically bent stalks is one of the early indications that a crop formation may not be man-made. Under a microscope, the affected plants exhibit genetic changes that cannot be readily explained. Scientists believe that the energy required to create the crop circle phenomenon generates instantaneous bursts of high heat. They speculate that this energy lies within the microwave frequency range. The interior floor of the crop formations are often woven and may be found spinning clockwise or counterclockwise. On some occasions, they may be spun in two directions simultaneously in different layers. Pattern vortices are visible in the center of the circular areas. Interior walls are formed by the still-standing crop, creating organic hallways you can walk through. Newly formed crop circles contain subtle electromagnetic energies left over from the forces which created them. These residual energy fields wreak havoc with cellular phones, video camcorders, and battery-operated devices. Many such devices simply cease functioning inside of the formations. This mysterious effect lasts for days until it eventually subsides. People also react to the unseen forces within the interior environment of crop formations. Hundreds of visitors have reported a wide variety of paranormal experiences over the years. Man-made or hoaxed formations contain none of these special features. Here we see a 340-foot triangular fractal design in barley from a very high altitude. Here's another classic crop formation shape, this time in wheat. It measures 300 feet in length at Stanton, St. Bernard. Three-dimensional designs are always a favorite of researchers. This one, dubbed the Escher, after the Dutch artist M.C. Escher, measures around 200 feet in wheat. Some people see an Antakarana, an ancient Tibetan healing symbol. The interpretation of the circle maker's art lies with the beholder. No matter what you see in this formation, it is a beautiful sight. Occasionally, the circle makers present us with a special formation that simply defies description, like this one. Pressed into wheat, measuring 370 feet, the West Overton hexagon dazzles us with its precision. Surprisingly, when the outline of this three-dimensional formation is entered into a computer and folded inward, it creates an 8-sided diamond. What we are looking at is actually an unfolded octahedron. Are the circle makers attempting to teach us something? This symmetrical 150-foot formation in wheat at Avebury-Truslow is certainly pleasing to the eye. The Chiselton circles demonstrate how crop circles first acquired their nickname. In the early days, most crop formations were either simple circles or concentric rings. This remarkable 9-pointed star at Sugar Hill measures 400 feet in barley. It displays amazing detail. Just when you thought you've seen it all, the circle makers provide you with another treat. The lovely Cher Hill Star, 205 feet in wheat. It doesn't get any better than this, or does it? Again, notice the outer marking. A month later, when the crops turn from a vibrant green to a familiar shredded wheat brown, it is time to be harvested. When it is cut down, this beauty will be just a memory. Crop formations have very short lifespans and must be captured on film and video to preserve their magic for posterity and for the enjoyment of future generations. The record-breaking 1999 English crop circle season saw nearly 150 formations spread throughout Great Britain. The artistic originality and generous variety stunned even the most jaded researchers. None of them remember experiencing such a rich and rewarding crop circle season. Something wonderful has happened, but it was not in the news. Is this the latest computer chip? Researchers call it Temple Square. This mind-boggling formation at Windmill Hill is made up of 288 individual circles in wheat, measuring 320 feet in diameter. The small moving dots near the outer edge are people. At Honey Street, we find another three-dimensional cube in wheat, this one measuring 200 feet across. You can see the damage that humans make when they create trails by walking out to the formation. Proper crop circle etiquette dictates that you walk out to the formation inside the tram lines, after first obtaining permission from the farmer who owns the land. These days, trespassers are subject to arrest, and not all farmers are pleased to find a crop formation on their property. They are instant human magnets. The Devil's Den Formation is named after its location. This is one of the most special formations of the entire season. Its perfection of design is undeniable. Many cell phone, camera, and battery failures occurred near this powerful pattern. It measures 205 feet in wheat. Let's go in for a real close look. Even the helicopter pilot is speechless. The Liddington Castle Formation is one of our favorites. At just over 200 feet in wheat, its design demonstrates perfect symmetry, balance, and harmony. It is truly gorgeous from any angle. Now we'll go in for a closer look. As you can see, some people meditate inside of the formations. Even the family dog likes this one. Colin Andrews is the world's leading authority on crop circles. He's the most quoted scientist on the subject, having appeared in every form of media. He has even given a presentation on crop circles at the United Nations in New York.
I am just amazed.
The Ninja Crescents formation at Barbury Castle is a pleasingly playful design. At 265 feet in wheat, some say that it resembles dolphins frolicking. This summer, 2 visitors photographed a small white spherical object hover over this formation in broad daylight, then slowly fly away. Over the years, a number of farmers have watched what they describe as a glowing ball of light descend from the night sky and hover high above their fields. The illuminated object silently descends, then passes directly over one of their crops for just a brief moment. The unknown visitor then shoots straight up into the night sky and rapidly disappears from view. Animals in the immediate vicinity become inexplicably still during this phenomenon, and some of them won't come out of hiding for hours. The next day, a new crop formation is found in the field where the aerial event took place. Silbury Hill is the largest Neolithic man-made earth mound in Europe. At 130 feet in height, it is centuries old. No one knows why it was built or how it was used. Stonehenge. The Druids' ancient stone temple dominates the landscape. Perhaps the circle makers have a historical link to our past, as many crop circles materialize near these enigmatic monuments. Formed in wheat, at 275 feet across, is this wondrous fractal design at West Kennet near Silbury Hill. The detail around the edge is a striking feature. The beautiful textures of its interior are highlighted by reflecting sunlight. You can actually see directional patterns created by the lay of the crop. This West Kennet design had everyone scratching their heads with wonder. If you were to put it to a vote, this luscious 410-foot creation in wheat is the popular favorite among researchers. The galactic crescents, or spinning spirals, represent a new level of artistic achievement. Let's take a good look at it from inside. Here's a brand new crop circle feature. Notice the tapered wall. A month later, the Hackpen Hill Formation changes colors and is ready for harvest. This is the last we will see of this beautiful creation. This simple Woodborough Hill Formation is actually man-made, but not by hoaxers. It was purposely constructed by two German researchers in an earnest attempt to communicate with the real circle makers. Another totally unexpected design that excited and confounded researchers is this incredible 180-foot impression in wheat. Busty Taylor is another pioneer in the field of crop circle research. You have probably seen some of his beautiful 35mm photographs on the popular crop circle calendars and postcards produced each year. Commercial chartered helicopter flights cost $1,000 an hour. To help reduce the exorbitant cost, researchers commonly share rides together. Here we see Colin Andrews, American researcher Ron Russell, Master Nan Lu, and of course our cameraman Peter Sorensen. The Beckhampton knot in wheat was rechristened the Origami Formation. Its history places an exclamation point on the entire subject of crop circles. 12 Japanese tourists, eager to communicate with the interactive intelligence associated with the forces that create crop formations, embarked on a bold experiment. They spent 3 hours in this very field meditating on particular geometric designs. The next morning, a helicopter pilot flying over the same area was startled at what he discovered. Word quickly spread about the appearance of this origami formation. Origami is the Japanese art of folding paper into decorative representational forms. Is this crop formation the result of direct contact with the mysterious forces at the heart of the phenomenon? Over the years, there have been numerous cases like this that went unreported because the witnesses feared ridicule and the loss of their privacy. Crop formations appear in a wide variety of shapes and sizes throughout the world. The largest concentration of these mysterious formations appears each summer in the Wiltshire district of southern England. An undetermined percentage of the Wiltshire crop circles are known to be man-made. These counterfeit formations are created covertly in the middle of the night by a well-organized renegade group of landscape artists who delight in creating August 11th saw the first total eclipse of the sun to be visible in Great Britain since 1927, and the last one of the millennium. And here we are, enjoying the celebration, right in the middle of Crop Circle country. A jolly good time was had by all. This God's Eye Mandala formation is magical. Remember the computer chip formation we looked at earlier? The circle makers created this exact inverse image, a fractal design with a three-dimensional group of pyramids in the floor design. Words cannot adequately describe the wonder generated by this 225-foot miracle in wheat. Peter Sorensen is the undisputed leader in crop circle videography. He has amassed well over 600 hours of footage covering the English crop circle seasons for more than a decade. When asked what he does for a living, he quickly responds, "I work for the circle makers." This Gypsy Lane formation was dubbed the Beam Ships, due to the distinct four flying saucers clustered together in the center. Are the circle makers trying to tell us something? This Lippen Lane Ballantine formation resembles a typically English symbol, the coat of arms. This Meehenstoke formation is now 90% harvested, and yet the ghost-like image of the original formation can still be seen. The Hexnut formation, as this one is known, is so perfectly precise in its design. This formation was discovered accidentally while en route to a different formation in another field a few miles away. What a stroke of luck. At first glance, this 300-foot triangle illusion formation in wheat appears to be genuine. It fooled many people at first, until researchers studied its interior. From the ground, its pattern design is imprecise, damaged, and dead inside. Electronic measuring devices revealed that no residual electromagnetic energy was present in this formation. All of the stalks were trampled by mechanical means. The London Daily Mail, a British newspaper, paid a whole team of people to create this formation. After interviewing dozens of visitors without telling them that it was man-made, the paper revealed the hoax in its feature story on the gullibility of crop circle believers. Fortunately, the deception backfired. After reading the article, the general public became even more interested in the real circle maker's art. Peter Sorensen calls this one the Flaming Trinity. As it rotates, it resembles an oil-burning lamp in a triad design with a large flame jumping out of the top. We asked Peter how crop formations get their nicknames. Is there some sort of central committee? Well, no, he explained. Whichever photographer gets there first can name it. That's all. Peter has named hundreds of formations over the years. This is the crystal brooch at Upavon. Because it lies within a military air exclusion zone, special permission had to be obtained in order to film it from the air. These images were shot from a microlight, a small two-seat hang glider powered by a motorcycle engine. This is a risky yet exhilarating method of aerial photography. The little alien face at Bishop Canning's created a lot of excitement when it was found, until it was determined to be man-made. The circle makers have not produced any self-portraits. This artistic delight at Avebury is called the Pi Formation, due to the familiar pi symbol off to its side. The most distinguishing feature of this work of art is its birthday. It is the only formation discovered in the month of September. The normal harvest period for cereal crops is in mid-August. This year's extensive rains delayed the harvest for several weeks. That makes this special formation the final crop circle of the millennium. Every year, for some inexplicable reason, a crop circle formation is discovered that is so extraordinary that it surpasses all of the others in beauty, complexity, and design. Researchers categorize these very special formations as crescendo events. 1999's crescendo event was truly historic, but because of an unexpected twist of fate, no one ever got to see it, until now. Years from now, history will record that the 1999 English crop circle season was the most astonishing, most prolific, artistically rewarding, and awe-inspiring season of all time. The spectacular and mesmerizing formations that were left behind surprised and confounded scientists, researchers, and the people. Hundreds flocked to the fields to witness this historic event for themselves. They took home unexpected personal experiences they would share and contemplate for the rest of their lives.